Hello, good morning, everyone. It's Shelby here from Superior Solutions, and today I wanted to give you guys an update on the SSBCI and also the SBA EIDL loan opportunities that we have here in South Florida. And also, it looks like they're going to offer this to any state that has been affected by any hurricanes or natural disasters, right? So let's dive a little bit deeper into both of these loan opportunities, and let's talk about how you guys can qualify for it. Okay, I've talked about both of these opportunities, the SBA EIDL, on my channel before, and then also the SSBCI. So let's dive a little bit deeper, and we're gonna take our time so that way we have clear understanding of exactly what it is and how it's funded and how you qualify for both of the opportunities. Okay, because I know a lot of times we come in a little bit late, so I want to make sure you guys get vital, really good, thorough, trusting information. Okay, so make sure you guys share this video, like it, and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. So good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's Money Making Monday. Let's get right to it. All right, and I want to talk about how we can make some money and how we can take the opportunity or take these opportunities this week. All right, so starting with the so let's start with the SBA EIDL situation, okay? I want to start with that so that way we can get through there and then we can get to the SSBCI that's nationwide. So remember, SBA, Small Business Administration, always offers the program. They've always had the EIDL, right? The Economic Impact Disaster Loan or disaster assistance in general. Now, with this situation, it's not kind of like COVID. It is like COVID, but it's not the same steps. COVID EIDL program was a little bit easier, but this program, remember, it's still a loan program, but it's more so like a bank way. And I actually applied for it because I told you guys that I was going to apply over the weekend. And so my experience of applying for the SBA disaster funding is that they do require a lot of documents. Documents further that go more extensive than the 45016. So I want to make this very clear. When you apply for the SBA EIDL disaster assistance from being affected by a disaster, like a hurricane or a natural disaster, right? A lot of the times, as brick and mortar businesses, we have insurance and we have other things that we can provide, or the documents that we can provide that shows that we are leasing and that we are actually affected because this area or this service area is within the demographic of like the natural disaster, right? So, with that being said, before you apply for the SBA EIDL disaster assistance, make sure you live in that county or that specific area that was actually affected by Hurricane Ian. Because I noticed not every county in Florida has the ability to apply for this assistance or apply for both assistance. So when I mean both, I mean this. So you have like the EIDL, and then you have like the physical damage of your home and business, okay? And then they have like a military loan for that, for disasters, and then they have like another assistance as well. Now, that means that there's 4 different opportunities through the SBA that you can take on. So even if you don't get approved for the EIDL, you can apply for like the physical damage loan, especially if you live in like Fort Myers or, any of those particular areas that your homes was actually physically damaged, right? Your property, and the same thing as your business. So even if you don't get approved for the EIDL, which is the Economic Impact Disaster Loan, you might still get approved for the other 3 opportunities, which is the physical damage loan or the military revisit loan. And then there's another one, I think it's called mitigation. So once you find out what area you're in, right, once you check to see if you are in an area, then you want to apply for the loan. Once you apply for the loan, as simple as this, you literally log into your SBA loan portal to check the status of the application. And then any additional documents needed, like, now they're doing ID me, okay, so I just noticed that. Like uploading your ID, front and back, uploading a voided check, uploading your 4506T form, and possibly any other like insurance statements or any other type of statements that show, that's going to help you out with approval odds. Each opportunity is a little bit different, and I noticed that. Now, I did not apply for the physical damage because one, my office and where I live is actually a high rise, so I don't have like an actual home. A home that's actually been affected can apply for this, but anything else, if you were just economically, affected, then you want to apply for the EIDL. Okay, I wanted to make that clear because the EIDL SBA is different than the COVID EIDL, assistance. Okay, it's a little bit different. The COVID was more nationwide. The COVID disaster assistance was something that was quick, and it was a dire need at that time. So it went very quickly. Now we've had more than enough time to put things in place to make sure we can prevent things like fraud and all of those other factors that happened during the COVID disaster pandemic assistance. So now we have ID.me in place and other, documentations that they're requesting to prove that you are actually affected by these disasters, okay? So this is going to be a little bit different. And remember, it is still a loan program. So yes, you do have to, they're going to pull your credit. I always say they pull your experience because by my experience, they definitely pulled my experience. I haven't seen it reflected on my credit report yet. I'm hoping that this week they actually process the loan application that I put in over the weekend, and I will come back with an update to let you guys know what the process was and what documents that they asked of me. So I applied for the SBA EIDL, okay, because I was economically affected. I wasn't able to really work. And those of you that booked consultations with me during those 3 days that we were kind of like on like a lockdown, I couldn't really take calls during that time because power was out, things like that. So we'll see how this goes. I'll let you know. Now, moving on, all right, from SBA to something that's more nationwide, all right, to everybody. Let's get right into the SSBCI. So the SSBCI, the State Small Business Credit Initiative Program, is something that's always been out, just like the SBA disaster funding, right? The SSBCI has always been out. Now, this is a situation where it's been funded by the, I believe it's the CARES Act or one of those acts, but it's been funded, right? So that means each state receives funding. Each state has to apply for the funding, right? Once the state applies for the funding and they receive the funding, then it is up to the state to disperse or allocate the funds, okay? And it's up to the states on how they actually, disperse the funds. Now, I want to dive a little bit deeper on how they disperse the funds. I want you guys to know each step of how it works so you have clear understanding of where you are or where you belong in, this whole, hierarchy. So you have collateral support programs, loan guarantee programs, loan participation programs, capital access programs, and equity capital programs, and tons other, okay, like venture capital programs, all types of different stuff. But those are like the main, I believe, like 5, right? That all states are participating or saying that they have. The funds that they use from SSBCI will go into those loan programs, okay? The SSBCI will not generally come up on your state secretary website or your state site as SSBCI. It's not gonna happen, okay? You're either gonna see loan guarantee program, you're gonna see that a lot, or you're gonna see loan participation program, or you're gonna see a capital access program. Those are the main 3 you're gonna see, and then the other 2 is collateral support and equity capital, okay? Loan guarantee program is the number 1, like the top name that a lot of the states are calling their loan program for the SSBCI. I'm saying that to say, when you guys apply for a loan, or if you're looking for the SSBCI in your area, ask the CDFI banks or whichever banks that are approved or whichever lenders that are approved in your state if they have a loan guarantee program. And the loan guarantee program is what's funded through the SSBCI. You can always ask the loan officer or the bank manager or whoever you're speaking to, the agent, about, how it works. Once you apply for the loan guarantee program, before you apply, make sure you know what that particular lender is looking for, okay? See what kind of credit score you need, see what documents you need, but it's most likely going through a bank. So you already know, once they go through the bank, they're gonna pull your personal credit and then all the other documents that they might ask for, okay? Like obviously your ID and things like that. But as far as in with like finding SSBCI, like the name next to, like, let's say for example, South Carolina SSBCI, you can Google that, but remember it might come up as a loan guarantee program, okay? Something else that I wanted to touch on that I saw that we had a lot of questions about as far as in this program over the weekend is what's the average? And so what's the average loan amount, right? They haven't really put that information out because this program is still fairly new. And remember, this program just dropped like 3 weeks ago. So each state still has, like, they're still slowly but surely getting funded and slowly but surely, accepting the funds. So until everyone is pretty much open with the SSBCI thing, then we'll have like a general number, okay? So yes, that's SSBCI and SBA. I wanted to, break those two down, how they operate, how they work, how they're funded, so that way you know what you need to do before you start applying for this funding, okay? Please make sure your personal credit is where it needs to be, okay? 650 or above, and really 680 or above, but 650 or above is what they say on their site. And if you want to solely go off of business credit, paydex score needs to be 80 or above, okay? So, and FICO needs to be, I think it was 150 or above. So I'm going to answer some questions if you guys have any questions while we're on here. And obviously, I like to end this with some type of gem, right? So let's see if we can find some grants. You guys go ahead and ask me any questions. And grants.gov, they just opened their website again. And there's like so many new grants on here. So I've been like just scrolling through, finding different grant opportunities for us. A lot of opportunities for nonprofits. I don't really service or really know too much about how to apply for nonprofits. I know you got to have like a 501 or a 503c, something like that. But I'm not educated in nonprofit grants. So there's a lot of nonprofit grants if you guys have a nonprofit business. A lot of grants out here for, the healthcare, anything healthcare related to. I noticed that. And as far as with the transportation industry, there's a lot of grants out here, or not a lot, let's say. Let me pipe that down. There's more than enough grants for the transportation industry, but for that particular industry, they're looking for a lot of documentation. All right. Obviously, they want to make sure you have all the licenses you need, right? Or you're supposed to have to operate. So, but there are transportation grants. There's grants out here for, different industries and different reasons that you can apply for. And if you're eligible, it's all about providing documentation. And that's with everything, you guys. When you're applying for stuff, no matter what it is, whether it's a loan or it's a grant or whatever it is, it's all about providing proof and providing, and just sticking with it, just doing it. That's why getting things like those certifications, like women-owned small business certifications, federal government certifications like that, that's why they take a lot of steps. But when you've completed those steps, that's why that certification holds some, weight, because it's like you did all of those steps to get approved for this cert. And once you're approved for the cert, now you're in position to get like federal government contracts and all kind of stuff, okay? So Just take the steps and provide the documents as much as you can in a timely manner. As soon as these applications or these loan programs, they ask for those documents that same day. You don't want to wait. You don't want to look at that email and just keep scrolling. No, you want to take care of it right then and there. As soon as they ask for your ID, send it to them. As soon as they ask for a voided check, send it to them. As soon as they ask for an LLC article, EIN, or a business plan, send it to them. That's why it's important to have all your documents first, as much as you can, whatever they're saying on their site. And then once you actually apply and they come to you with any additional documents needed, then you can provide that information, okay? So I noticed that a lot of the times when we get denied, we just don't have the information, or we're just kind of like, I'll get back to it, and things like that. No, you want to just have everything all in one, so that way you're prepared for what you're applying for, okay? Or prepared to execute. All right, let's talk here. Hi. To run an online spiritual counseling business, they have grants for that? Okay, so no, they don't have grants for direct holistic businesses and spiritual businesses. No, we don't live in that type of country. We live in a country where, Christianity, that's the top, and that's just what it is. So anything with that particular, you won't find a grant like that. You won't find a grant like a spiritual grant. How you would find a grant would be healthcare grants, right? Healthcare and wellness, something like that. Healthcare and wellness, all right? Keep it very general. You are not going to go on here and say, spiritual grants, boop, grants for Geminis, boop. No, that's not what's happening, okay? You can't do that. You literally have to think of it. It's spiritual, it's holistic, it's things like that, yoga, meditation. So if you're in that type of niche, you're gonna, or in industry, sorry, not niche, industry, then you're gonna go dive a little bit deeper, find the most broadest way to generalize your business. Health and wellness, okay? Health and wellness grants. And women-owned small business grants, you guys, don't forget about those particular opportunities. Women-owned small business grants, Black-owned small business grants, minority operated grants, emergency assistance grants, like for when you need food stamps, utilities paid, HUD, right, which is the housing assistance, things like that, okay? Don't forget, there's different. It's not just solely don't be tunnel vision only on your industry. Oh, I write books, so I want to know if there's any author grants out here. No, are you a Black individual writing books out here? Yeah, you are a small Black business owner. Find a grant for that. You know what I mean? Because that's a much broader, and that's that's going to have more opportunities for you versus Googling and finding a grant for that industry, okay? When I look for grants, I don't look for consultation grants. Nope. When I apply for grants for my business, I apply for grants that are women-owned small business grants, possibly Native American grants, because I am, part Native American. And then, things like that. So, yeah, you want to find other grants that you can apply for your personal reasons, and then also for your industry, and then also for other reasons as well, okay? There's different groups and different programs that you guys can join. And over the weekend, I actually had a client or a lead. She was a beautiful woman. We had a great conversation, and she was saying, hey, but I live out here in Michigan, and I noticed that you have to be in some of these places, different groups and, different, industry groups and stuff, and be invited to these different events in order to know about these local grants. So I said, that may be true, because those particular grant opportunities are more so of programs or enter a chance to win, or it's something that, it's a collective thing. So if you were invited to a CEO conference, a workshop or something like that, then you're a part of that group, right? Or you joined that group, which means you have leverage or the opportunity to apply for the grant within that group because you're a part of it. I wouldn't know that because, one, you wouldn't provide that information to me on the business request form. And then two, that's a local entity, that's a local organization. And that's actually a nonprofit. And you guys got to think a little bit more than this. I'm going to leave you with this gem and I'm going to get up off of here. It's 32 people, I believe, on here. But once we get off, obviously, there's going to be a lot of people watching it. So for everyone that's watching, think about if you invested or if you gave, Superior Solutions, or say we created an organization and a nonprofit, and everybody gave $1, right? Then now we became a nonprofit organization that provides grants, right? And so when we provide grants, now we have a Facebook group that's locked, only a certain amount of people can join, and things like that. Then now we become a grantor. Now our eligibility requirements, whatever we want, whatever stipulations we want to put in place, we could do that. And that's what a grant is, okay? We could do that. So once we have all our money, say we get like $100,000, right, in the pot, and we say, okay, you have to had watch Shelby's channel or at least subscribe to the channel, right? You have to join the Facebook group, and you have to provide information about your business, right? Give us like some type of video pitch, introduce yourself, so that way we know, and then we all get the ability on live on YouTube to pick who the winner is. That the qualifications and eligibility requirements that we gave them, which is subscribing and this and that, that's just what it is. That's what we're telling them that they have to do in order to be able to get this grant opportunity. Okay, so I'm saying that to say grants are not like bank loans or credit cards. Okay, grants are literally different. Each opportunity is different. You might have a Christian or Catholic grant that might say, hey, you got to come to church for 90 days. You got to do a 90-day, Christian-based thing. And in order, once you do that, you can get $30,000. Or once you do that, you can get $50,000. Same thing with school scholarships. Write a 2 to 7 page essay on the reasons for why we should give you money to go to med school. Same thing, okay? That's how grants work, and that's how I want you guys to think about grants, okay? So this whole entire video was about us getting some money. It's Money Making Mondays, okay? So I want you guys to go in a positive way. We're ended the year strong, all right? We are in our 4th quarter as small business owners, so let's end it strong, and let's start talking about ways we can prepare ourselves. So I will be back on YouTube Live later tonight, all right? And I have some boards and stuff that I bought, so I feel like we could do an interactive exercise to help, get our minds together on wrapping up this 4th quarter and also getting prepared for the new year, okay? New grants, new opportunities. Let's get it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting my channel. Like and share this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. I'm about to get my day started. I got some people to talk to, all right? But I love you guys. Peace.